Okay, so my audio was cut off when I recorded this, which is why I'm voicing over. This is for the sake of like fair use, so it's a disclaimer. I'm simply commenting. This video originally belonged to Abba and Preach reacting to a TikTok, but I wanted to react to their reaction because I like watching their videos and I thought it'd be something organic and fun to watch. But yes, this is their video. I'm simply commenting on it. If you want to watch the original thing, I'll leave it in the link.
I guess I should also start off by apologizing for not being active at all. Major thing, I'm gonna start switching how I do videos now because gaming simply doesn't work with the time schedule that college allows. But reactions and more animations because I know y'all like those, so I'm gonna start doing those. And yeah, without further ado, let go.
He broke up with me because he was like, I'm never going to be the guy who posts you on Instagram or who buys you flowers, which I thought was stupid. And then now I hear that he has a new girlfriend and they're traveling around Europe together and he posts her on Instagram. He refused to ever post me. Now a year later, he dates someone and like happily.
Wait, therapy diaries. Why he just didn't like you enough isn't. Oh, he just didn't. Is not the right answer.
Posting her, even though I don't even want him anymore. It's like the principle of things that makes me salty, and it's just like annoying because like people or society, they'll say like, oh, it's because they don't like you enough, and I just never felt like that was like an adequate explanation. It's just this stupid way for these men to not take accountability for being a shitty partner, and it's like they always are like of the idea of like, well, one day I'll meet the right person for.
Well, to keep it a buck, it could really just be that they didn't like you enough. Not posting you on Instagram and whatnot. It could just be that he wasn't proud of you as a partner, or he might not have thought you were attractive enough to him, I suppose. But from a holistic perspective, I can see why she'd say not liking you enough is not an acceptable answer. But unfortunately, that low-key might just be it.
The right person, I'm suddenly going to become this like very romantic and amazing partner. This person's going to be so perfect that they're going to bring out these characteristics in me that I've never had with anybody else. I hate flowers, but I'm going to like them so much that I'm going to buy them flowers. I'm going to be inspired by them flowers because I like them. I like them so much more than I could ever like you. That's what it seems like they're saying, like as if it's my fault. Me getting treated shittily by them is somehow my fault because I wasn't enough. I couldn't make them like me enough. I couldn't elicit strong enough feelings from them for them to treat me right. Like I couldn't make them treat me right because.
Okay, I see what you're getting at here. Okay, well, from that perspective, no, I wouldn't say it's enough as an answer. It's kind of like that is kind of fucked. Ultimately, yeah, no, I get what she's saying though. And it isn't her fault that you can't really make someone like you, but. From both sides of the perspective, while it's not your fault that you can't make someone like you, and that's no right for them to treat you that way, if she really wants an answer as to why he was treated that way, generally speaking, it could just be that. But that's my take. I'll wait for them to say.
I wasn't enough, and it pisses me off because logically, that is so stupid. If you are a bully and you're bullying someone, you bullying them has nothing to do with the victim. You're a bully because you're a shitty person, not because that person is somebody deserving of being bullied. I feel like these men use this hypothetical girl as a hypothetical benchmark to excuse why they treat you so shittily. And it's a way for them to not take accountability by just having this hypothetical benchmark that would just be pushed and pushed and pushed back. I feel like if they happen to change and start treating the next person better, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just because they decided, oh, you know, maybe I should be a little bit better and post my girlfriend on Instagram and buy her flowers, because that seems like a normal thing most people would do in a relationship without complaint.
I can't speak from a girl's perspective, and I myself have limited relationship experience, but regardless, I do know what it is like to demonstrate affection for someone I care about, so that qualifies me to speak about this. And what I will say, lots of guys typically demonstrate affection through actions. It's not to say that a guy wouldn't tell you he loves you or speak with words, but usually they physically do things. And if you see that a guy's not willing to go, I wouldn't say above and beyond, but if he's not willing to do certain things for you, especially things that are usually the norm in a relationship, it probably means he doesn't give that much of a fuck about you. Like, generally speaking, if he's not willing to sacrifice certain things, Like, not willing to post you on Instagram, that's usually like the biggest sign, especially because most guys, if they got a girl, they'll be proud of her. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't think she's the most like attractive, as long as she's attractive to him, usually he would want to post you on Instagram just to like almost like a bragging kind of thing, which also should have been your first sign that he was not fucking with you that much, and probably should have left, but it's my take.
I just hate being blamed for someone treating me badly. I hate being...
And just a disclaimer, I'm not blaming her either. Not blaming her. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if a guy's not willing to do something for you, it usually means he doesn't like you. I'm not saying him not liking you is your fault. I'm just saying that it's usually the explanation. Or, yeah, just about that. His feelings for you aren't strong enough for him to start sacrificing you, and therefore sacrificing things for you. And that ergo proves that you simply are not worth it. Kind of a fucked up and straightforward way to put it. It's a lot more complex than that. But holistically, it's the general say.
Blamed for it. If I cheat on someone, it has nothing to do with them. They didn't deserve to be cheated on. Yeah. I just cheated on them because I'm a shitty person. Like, why are these people...
Okay. If someone says, I'm going to sleep with other people, whether you like it or not, and that's going to be the dynamic of our relationship, and you accept it, are they shitty for doing that? Absolutely. Are you also partially accountable for accepting those circumstances? Absolutely.
That's what I was getting at too. Like, once again, I'm not necessarily saying like it's her fault that he didn't like her, but it is kind of your fault for staying in that relationship knowing that he didn't like you. Once again, it doesn't justify the way he treated you. It's not a good explanation for the way he treated you. It's just that's simply how it was, and you made the decision to stay in that relationship. And in that case, yeah, there's kind of some blame to be put on you there. Sorry.
Because what she's saying is semi-right. Just because you tell someone that you're going to abuse them doesn't make you any less of a shitty person for thereafter abusing them. Just people accept the circumstance that you put on them. Don't mean that you any less shitty of a partner for putting them through it. But you also have accountability in the situation. You weren't tricked into this, right? You weren't sold a dream or deceived. You were told what the agreement would be. You knew it would be bad for you, and you accepted it irrespectively. And I like to have that conversation, not because I like to put blame on the other person, but if you're the person who's getting dealt the shitty hand, I like the idea that you have agency.
It's poker. You can be dealt a shitty hand, you can fold. If you having a shitty hand and then you bet all in and then you end up losing, you could have folded.
Yeah, it's literally what I said at the beginning. That's just literally it.
Is that acknowledge that it is possible that I am not the cup of tea of some people? Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, cup of tea is not the cup of tea of some people. Meaning you could be the juiciest, ripest, sweetest mango in the world, and motherfuckers are not gonna like mangoes. You could accept that. It's not because mango is bad. It's just because they don't like mango. And it's okay. And then they're gonna move on to another person, another thing, another fruit, and they're gonna be like, ooh, why they munching on raspberries like that?
Real shit. Real shit. That's another thing people gotta understand. And it's like the same thing I was saying too. Like, he could have simply just not like it's not like there was anything wrong with you. You just weren't really his shit. Like, I can say from my perspective, I know, like, my friend group, they'll sometimes show me, like, 10 out of 10 models and shit. Don't get me wrong, they look good, but they're just not simply the kind of person I'd go for a plethora of reasons. But ultimately, that's that. The girl, and her argument about how, she is semi-right, though. Her argument about how the way she was treated had nothing to do with the actual victim. It's just the person themselves being shitty. It does have to do with the person themselves, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're shitty. It just means that ultimately, he wasn't fucking with you that much. Doesn't mean he should have treated you that way, but he wasn't fucking with you that much. And that is the explanation. It's not a good one. It doesn't justify it, but ultimately that is what it is. Like, just hands down, that's what it was, really. And that's why he treated you that way. But the other person that he was with, he did like her that much more. And that's why he started doing X, Y, Z. Not your fault. You're just not his thing. But oh well, I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna watch them for a little bit longer, and then we gonna see that.
Then munch on me, motherfucker. I'm mango. It's okay. they like raspberries better.
I think the viewer followed that fruit analogy better than I did. I'm lost, but I know they can appreciate you, and that's what matters.